on a flight at 10 p.m. and I was home. I was in Djibouti by 9 a.m. So it's yeah.
I'm sorry, I keep asking. I keep hammering on your story. But do you regret not being there with her earlier before she died?
I was too far away. You get it? But at the same time, I knew that that was a bit. I felt I could have. I couldn't leave my job. You get it? But I felt, is there a way I could have done some more? You get it? It's just the feeling of, was there something else I could have done? Could I have elongated her life more? I mean, she was 74 years old. She had diabetic and stuff like that. But I think it was just a personal way. You get it? And a lot of things. And I've been able to channel that into something like, something else for myself. You get it? I mean, because she was pretty much the only person I think in my head, I don't want to do wrong because of my mother. I wouldn't want to do anything stupid that she would hear. I always wanted her to be proud of me. So I'm going to do things to make her happy. So today I still think about it.
Okay. It's good. I'm asking because we're talking about difference between guilt and regrets. So I was trying to use your story to kind of understand it. That's why I'm asking.
Yes, I just want people to share what do you feel guilty about? You get it? Yes. What do you feel? What have you done that you think, okay, you know what? I do regret, or just give us in context. Let's put it in context.
I'm sorry. Can I say something to that? I'm just going back to what Omar was asking, really, because I also have not gotten an answer from you, and I want a bit of clarity. But the question is not to you, actually. The question is to Omar. Do you think what he's feeling is guilt, or do you think what he's feeling from an outsider is regret? Sometimes, most African men, sometimes they don't like to, express their feelings. So let's assume that Brother Lo is trying to be a strong man. But if you were from outside, you have heard that story, because that's really, if I had that example, I would have used that example rather than Anne, actually. Okay, his mom was very sick. He knew about that. So many pressures. He's got a young family in Dubai. He's got work. He's got so many stuff. He's sending money. He couldn't have changed the outcome. Even if he had gone to be with her, he wouldn't have changed the outcome. But after everything had happened, he felt that, maybe I should have just gone. Maybe. Is that guilt or is that regret?
I mean,
and does it matter?
Yes. To answer the question, first of all, I think it's a bit of both, because I don't know. That's why I was asking him questions to kind of, have him say what exactly it was. But it could be guilt because maybe somewhere in his heart he knows he could have done better. Like maybe he could have actually gone before she died. But also regrets that now it's confusing me. I'm confusing myself. I think it's a bit of feeling guilty that I should have gone by doing good, and regrets. I regret not going, and maybe you regret not going, and you feel guilty based on that reason. If you understand what I mean. And you couldn't have changed it. The other question was, could it have changed?
No.
Pastor, sorry, I forgot the other question.
Yeah. I'm saying that. Oh, no, I was just saying that. Does it really matter whether it's guilt? I don't know. That's not a question for this session, but would it have changed the outcome anyway if he had traveled? I didn't think so.
Oh, no, it wouldn't have.
But maybe it would have made him feel better, hey?
Yes, it would have made him feel better, and he would have grieved differently, because he must have grieved. The grief must have come with guilt as well. That's like a whole new level of grieving. It's not just because the person died. It's like
also yeah. Fair enough.
Yes.
Okay, so I just want people to share. I've shared mine. To get personal to me. I want us to again see at the end of the day we just teaching each other.
We'll only be doing ourselves a lot of harm if we start feeling guilty about that. We can have regrets that, I wish I was there, but there's nothing we can do about it. And I just wanted to, from Brevi's, I know there are a lot of things I would say traditionally and culturally, but I think that I've had people say that, oh, my family member waited for me to get there before he or she passed. I don't know if anybody can decide when they're going to die, but it's in God's hands, So some people will say, "Oh, thank God he waited for me," to get there before he passed. It might just be share luck, but I don't think it's in anyone's hands, So that's my. I think Anna should, give herself a well done, say well done to herself for all that she's done. We can't say don't go to the toilet. So that's my I don't know if anybody has any other thing to say before I think we've got a few minutes to go, 2 minutes or 1 minute to go. Oh, okay, we're leaving breakout room.
Yes,
right.
That was good.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Recording in progress.
All righty. How's everyone? How was it? We're still waiting for a few more groups. I was in the 3 groups, although I spent more time in group 2, which was really, really good. Group 2 was really, really good. That's really nice. And I think I joined group 3 quite late. So, all right, everyone, how was it? That was really good, wasn't it? It was. I got a lot out of that session just there. I just found that very engaging, very useful, and very beneficial. And I'm not sure, we're not going to spend too much time now. All right, we're not going to spend too much time because I've got another case for us to really look at. Okay, I've got another case for us. So I'm going to go back into different groups. So they randomly assigned to different groups, and I want us to discuss in those groups. But very, very, very interesting situation. Let me just pick one person in each group to just tell me. The question is, do you think, say, Anna, is it Anna or Anne? And I think, do you think Anne was experiencing guilt or regret or none? Or maybe she's just going through grief. Should I pick from group 1? I pick Deji, group 1. Eve, group 3, and Shania, group 2. Quickly, Deji, what do you think?
According to the scenario, I would say she was experiencing regret because she wants to be with him when he passes away and she wasn't there. So it's not, I would say it's not guilt because there's nothing much she could have done to change the situation. It could be guilty if there's something that maybe transpired earlier that, maybe there was something she thought she could have done better when he was more healthy.
Now you are opening another door there. How did he get sick? Maybe she's feeling guilty about that, eh? Or how she treated him when he was well.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Very, very, very. I never thought about that before.
Someone opened my eyes to it in our group. So
you're good. Great. That's great. Good conversation. Evie.
With group 3. Oh yeah. So I think our one was pretty much, I think it was 4 out of 4 out of 5 said regret. I was the only one that said actually kind of both, like, I was saying like, oh, guilt, maybe like what do you call it? She wished she was she probably have done something. Do you get what I mean? And regret, just like how Deji saying, regret, like, you know, she wish she was actually there to say goodbye to the person and stuff. So yeah, it's pretty much the same.
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much for that. And Shania?
I don't think it was guilt. I think it was more of regret, just because my understanding of regret is I feel as though it's an emotion that you experience when you look back on a situation or a scenario or an event and you look at what you could have done differently. So I think it was regret. I don't think it's guilt.
Can both coexist, Shania?
Okay, then it's both.
No. I'm just asking a question that can both coexist.
Oh, you're asking me?
Yes.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, potentially. Good. All right, Shania, since you're there and you're my favorite voiceover person, you're going to help me read out this next scenario, okay? Okay, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to read it out, okay? And then we'll go into groups.
Okay. Do you want me to read it now?
Yeah.
Okay. Sarah made a decision to have her ovaries removed 2 years ago in order to decrease the likelihood that her breast cancer will recur. Though she tested negative for the breast cancer genes, her cancer was hormone receptor positive, which means the cancer feeds off the hormones that her ovaries produce. To significantly reduce the amount of these hormones, as a premenopausal woman of 38, she decided to surgically remove her fallopian tubes and ovaries. She recovered from the surgery within 2 weeks, but the effects of the plummeting into menopause overnight have been longer lasting and in some cases quite devastating. Is she experiencing guilt or regret?
We should discuss that. Now, let me translate that for those who don't understand Aussie English. Sarah is a woman of 38. She had breast cancer, which had been treated. But because her breast cancer is the type of breast cancer that feeds on hormones produced by the ovaries, she decided to reduce her risk by taking out the ovaries. She then automatically became menopausal. Of course, once the ovaries are gone, she just became menopausal at 38 and started having lots and lots of health problems, including mood swings and all the usual stuff that menopausal women go through. And she came to see our mental health expert, Elder Stanley, mental health / spiritual, I wanted to say spiritualist, but spiritual experts. Elder Stanley. So what do you think she's experiencing? All right. And I decided not to make it complex because I was tempted to make the story like, I wanted to put the Nollywood connection there, that she was a single mom of 6 years old, but the baby suddenly fell sick and died, and then she that would have made the story much more dramatic. All right, but I'll leave that to your imagination, those who are story writers here. Okay. Is that okay? I've not heard some people speak at all. I know maybe because I missed their groups. Bro Biodun, Sister Mokwe. I'm not sure whether Sister Mokwe, Bro Larry is hiding under your cover there. Did I see Duni? I didn't see Duni here. Sister Fumi Abiola Ishola. I hope she's somewhere there. Anyway, hopefully we hear from you guys. So let's recreate the rooms. And we will assign everybody to the rooms. Let me just make sure the rooms are well balanced. Great. Oh no, some people are still together. Okay, well, that would work. Bro Abiodun, which group were you in before? Bro Abiodun, which group were you in before? Bro, okay, is it there? Stamokwe, which group were you in before?
Group 2, sir.
You were in group 2. Okay.
Group 2.
Oh, Stamokwe was in group 2. Okay. And what about Brobiola was he in group 3? Brobiola, were you in group 3?
3, yes.
3, okay. Okay, well, some of you will still be in the same groups. There's no way we can achieve that. All right, all the rooms are open. You go to your group.
Is that Damilola there or doing Sola or
It's doing.
it's doing? How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you, ma.
You know, school was good today, this week.
Yeah, it was good.
That's very good. Okay. Let me see. Who else is there? Oh, I can't see. Hold on.
If you fail, God will pass you.
Amen.
You don't need fail or pass. It doesn't matter. Every year.
Hello.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. That discussion, I would say, is she feel guilty because she took hasty decision, and without making thorough consultation or inpatient. I would say that is a deed of that. Yeah, I give you a chance to also contribute here.
I agree that it's guilt, but I think her decision was valid. I think that moment she must have been, it's not a decision that you can spend ages thinking over whether you want to do the surgery or not. So I think she chose the right decision for her there and then. And either way, like, it could have been, if she chose another decision, something else could have. So I think she did feel guilty, but I feel like her decision to do that surgery, I think it was valid for her to do that.
Yeah, for that, once if the advice is from the doctor, the specialist, yeah.
Can I say something?
Yep. Yes.
I think her decision was spontaneous. And like Shania said, it's not something that you can spend a long time thinking of if she should do or not. But she should have given a bit more thought and thought about the health problems that will come after it and the result of the surgery.
That's a good answer. Hervé, your turn.
Okay. You said you stole my answer by right. But yeah, so for me personally, I'll say maybe Greg.
I would say the lady is experiencing regret because the truth is, for her to think through that she wanted to do the surgery she did was because she felt, well, okay, medically, what she's about to do will help her health. But then, regretfully, it turned out to be, something else again for her. And then I think it's more of a regret again than guilt. Yes, because regret is it's just an unforeseen circumstances that had happened to her in her case. Yes, she had a different intention, and then it came out negative at the end of the day. So I think it's more of a regret than guilt.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Sister Mokwe?
Yeah, I actually agree with everyone because for me, I think it's more of regret because yes, she went for the procedure, even though maybe she didn't even know much about the consequences of or what's going to happen after the procedure. And it turned out to be something she wasn't expecting. So I think it definitely she'll probably be regretting making that decision for going through that procedure.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I'll just say that I think, like every one of us, like we said, I think it's regret, you know. But in saying that also, just like the woman in the first scenario, the first case study, I don't think that she needs to feel guilty about it. Because if she had not done, you know, if she had not gone through the procedure, she might be, you know, she might still have cancer now, and, you know, maybe she will be in an end stage, you know, of life or something. So I don't think that, yeah, like we said, it's not, you know, not guilty feelings, it's regret. But in saying that, you know, whatever is happening to her now, she can still live with it. Because we have a lot of people that have reached the age of menopause and they manage, you know, they manage the kind of, how will I put it? They manage whatever is happening to them. So an example of somebody that is menopausal, they have mood swings. Example of people that are menopausal, when everybody is feeling cold, they can be feeling hot. You know, and there are medications and there are things that they can take to help them manage it. So I think that, you know, looking at whatever is happening to her now and comparing it to her being, you know, going to chemotherapy, going to radiotherapy and everything, you know, I think that she's still in a better place. And although she would never be able to have kids anymore. So I do not, or we don't know, even maybe she froze, you know, we don't know, maybe before they took out the fallopian tube and ovary, maybe she froze her eggs and maybe someone else can help her, you know. But I think it's regret and not cute, you know. Yeah, I don't know if Brian Mano, we've not. Brian Mano, are you there now? Yeah, I think Brian Mano is busy. He's the only one we've not heard from. Does anyone have any other contributions before we go on? Attorney? No, ma. Okay. Right. I just wanted to throw like what Pastor was saying before, since we don't have any more contributions. Like, yeah, what if she lost our son? You know, I think Pastor was saying she had a son.
To die than to look like this? Or is it better to look like this than to stay like this? So I feel if her physical appearance is changing due to her being menopausal, it takes a different role than a female. So that could be.
And I totally like the angle you're coming from, because another thing is that there's societal expectation. I know this word that is saying Yoruba, when
where did you go?
Somebody has gone through a procedure to remove the fallopian tube. Some people will call them a kwaja, which roughly translates a male dog. And you know, there's that expectation that regardless of age, or if you've just had one child or something, a woman is meant to birth multiple children. Now, there might be that social aspect that's then playing on our mind. So apart from all of the complexities of going through menopause and the hormonal imbalance issues, there might be societal factors. And there's nothing that's going to get a woman's attention more, especially with what Adi has just mentioned, that especially there are now changes, histological changes to our body. Maybe she used to be slim and all of that, or slim thick, or whatever it is they call it, and all of a sudden she's just lost shape and everything is all over the place, and that might even compound the issue. So, but like what we said, while it might be regretful that she did that, or that she sort of fast-tracked that menopause and all of the other effects associated with it, those offshoots are things that existing medical stuff can still deal with. Talking to people, seeing specialists, getting on a diet, doing all sort of things. But if she had not done that, then she stood the risk of dying through cancer, which is, you know, really not an option. So.
So
Yeah, I think we've all said something and we've all agreed basically on the same thing. It's all regrets, and they're regrets that can, with time and with the right medical attention and counseling, she might, overcome all those. Yeah.
Recording in progress.
Bro Biodun, how are you?
Very well, sir. Very well, sir.
What do you think? What do you think about Sarah?
I think we all concluded that it was more.
So you. What did you think? You.
Okay, I thought it was the feeling of regret, anyways. But because obviously, she probably wouldn't have been conscious or aware or made a conscious, aware of the consequences of the procedures in that regards. On another note, maybe even if she knew, she could have still gone ahead. But as humans, we want to always think that maybe if we had done something differently, we would have had a better experience. So it's more of regret. There's no sense of feeling someone else, or there's no sense of letting someone else down. It's more about I regret what I did because I don't feel better, but not as a sense of duty to someone else. It was like a sense of duty to someone else. Like I failed my husband, I failed my father, I failed my family. Then it will be more of guilt. That's what I think. So,
thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that. We've all done very well, and I really appreciate the conversations we've had today in our various groups. We would not have time to really dig deep into what regret is and guilt and open a lot of scriptures, but I thought as a start, we should just have some conversations around using these case studies. On a general note, I would say that guilt is that feeling that someone has when they've done something legally or ethically wrong. So if you do something that is either by law or by convention or by moral standards or ethics, if by any of those standards they are wrong, you feel guilty. Like when you hurt someone, when you speak harshly to someone, or when you whatever it may be, whether it's by omission or commission. So whether it's by your action or your inaction, by negligence or any other way, if you do something that is wrong, yes, you feel guilty. So it refers to something that you did knowing that you shouldn't have done it. And there are many times we do things that we shouldn't do, all right? And when we are caught, we feel guilty about it. When was the last time you got a speeding ticket? The last time you got a speeding ticket? Who wants to share their guilt trip with us quickly? Last time you got a speeding ticket. Wow, this is a very good cohort of Australian drivers. Can we look for people? Last time, I'm not even saying last week or whatever. When was the last time you got a speeding ticket?
Last month.
Last month. Thank you, my brother.
Mine is the
no. Sorry, bro. Evie. Mrs. Amos just said something. I'm interested in that one.
Yeah, mine was, sorry, Harvey. Mine was, I think, last year. And I've tried by the grace of God to be more conscious when I'm.
Tell us the story. Tell us the story.
Around the school zone. Well, I was going to the shop and I completely forgot that it was because I was working from home. Yes. I thought, okay, during my lunch break, I could quickly run to the shops at Maryland's, Stockland. So yeah, I was going at 60 as usual. And the sign that is usually there that tells you it's 40. For some reason, I couldn't see anything that blinked at me. So I was going 60 and I came back to 60. So just like 2 weeks later, I saw this envelope.
Oh, so it's double whammy. You got it twice. The same camera.
I'm like, oh, what happened there? So when I got home, I said, is this school time zone or what? Why didn't I think about it? So, well, one of those things, but now I'm always I know the timing.
Thank you for sharing that with us. So
Can I just add first?
Sorry, who's that?
No, I was going to add to what she was saying, or
Okay.
the question.
Yeah, you want to share your own experience?
No, I was going to say that most times when we get parking tickets, we don't feel guilty. We just feel regret because sometimes we know what we're doing.
Okay, well, we'll come back to that. No, that's
Yeah.
in fact, you're probably almost saying the opposite of it.
Okay.
Okay. So since you've opened your mouth to talk Omo, please unmute yourself and tell us your own experience. Have you been stopped by the police before? Have you been given a ticket by the police before, Omo?
Yes.
So tell us what happened.
Oh, I just didn't have my license with me. I left it at home.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
But with speeding, people, oh yeah, I got fined for not having it. It was before we had the digital.
So tell me the
license.
conversation now. Now, okay, let's quickly do a role play. We only have like 6 minutes. All right. Hello, ma'am. Please be very careful. Whatever you say may be used against you in the court of law. I've got a camera here. It's recording. What's your name? Can I have your driver's license? Oh,
I don't have it.
I'm a bill. Oh, you don't have your driver's license?
No, I don't.
Okay. And at that time, I'm sure you're saying, please, excuse me, I'm sorry, sir. Oh, what were you saying?
No, I just said I forgot it. That's it.
That's why you got the fine. So you didn't say,
Yes.
please, it's not like that. I'm not like that.
It's not Nigeria now. They won't hear it. So there's no need to waste my page. I don't think.
So you just say, okay, yeah, just bring it. Just bring it. Just give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me.
I've moved on.
Just a quick check.
You should have
I
cried.
was just
I've tried
wondering
crying.
about the license.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to ask about the license. Will the virtual license on your service New South Wales have sufficed?
Absolutely, would have. Maybe she
And
didn't have
I'll
it.
get that.
Oh no, I said it was before we had that. We didn't used to have that.
Yeah. That's
I
actually a new
see.
thing. It was 12 months ago.
Yeah.
All right, so back to the topic. Yeah, Sharon said she would have cried. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Sorry, bro. Evan was sharing his story.
Yeah. Every
Thank you, Sister Amy. Thank you. Only Sister Amy loves me. So nah, okay. So mine was a device. So I got caught on camera using my phone, but I don't know how, because I don't use my phone. Mine was a phone. So I got like $350 and 5 demerit points removed. So mine was like last month. It's crazy.
You should pay the tithe on that fine.
Okay.
It's all right.
Sorry, so I have a question.
Who's that? Oh, Bro, you're doing it.
Yes, I have a question for and as a question to the house, but just to address almost point. Should she feel any guilt, or it's okay for her to just feel regretful? The reason why I said that is, I got the feel that she felt, in her case, she forgot it, okay? But it's still not acceptable, I would imagine. So I think maybe the question is, should have felt any guilt, like, I shouldn't have done this, which would, qualify. Or I was like, no, I only regret the fact that I got caught today. I probably would do it another day, but it doesn't matter.
So we can exhaust all of this today, but those are sort of very, very valid points that we are all sort of making in different ways. All right. Now, the reason why I gave that example is that when you find yourself, many a times we feel guilt when we are caught and we don't feel regret. If you're doing something wrong and you get caught, you may feel guilty about it for that time, but you may not regret it. How many of you have spanked your kids before and you really felt, I shouldn't have spanked that bad? Do you understand? You feel guilty that that was not, maybe you're even wrong. Or maybe not even in that context, maybe in another context, you've done something that, and then you may not even regret it. You're like, you know what? Yes, it's what I've done is wrong, but I don't regret it one bit. I would have done it again. And there are many people, in fact, a lot of criminals who are psychopaths actually feel that way and do that. They may plead guilty. Yes, I know I've broken the law, and I feel sorry that I've been caught. But if I wasn't caught, I would do it again and again and again. It's what happens to a lot of us who have a lot of demerit points. And I'm not excusing myself because I've got a couple of demerit points too, where, when the police officer stops you, you know how you feel, oh gosh, you want to see that, wow, oh God. And you start to feel guilty. And then especially if you're at the critical point where you only have a few points, if you don't have too many points, you won't do what Emo, don't try to do what Emo did and say that it will work. You don't know, especially if you're a man. So, you start to beg and everything, and you feel guilty about it. You'll notice that for the next 1 week or so, you'll be compliant with the speed limits. Somehow you will check school zones. You'll be very conscious. And then after a while, you will just be speeding, but you'll be so alert trying to check for police. You know where all the speed cameras are. And then once you pass the speed cameras, you just go. If you're caught, you feel guilty. If you're not, you don't feel any regret about it. So we've got to bring, I'm not sure Sister Law's hands are up. I'm not sure whether she wants to ask a question.
Is up. My hands are up.
Okay.
I actually wanted to share my own audio,
Right.
although so there was this time I went to pick up something from Sister Kenny's house. So I was coming back to my own house, and somehow I wasn't really familiar with the road. And somehow I saw cars stopped, and I stopped, and I find myself at the middle of, when you have two lights, you pass the first one and the second one. I was at the middle, and it was red. I was confused. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know if I should stay in that spot or just, leave. So I just left because there was no way I could stay at the middle. I left, and I checked because I was using my map. I checked, and I saw that there was a camera there. I was so confused. I was driving home. I went home. I was crying. I was so confused. Do you know I had to go back, drive all the way back to that same spot to check if that camera was actually working?
And did you go slow this
and
time?
I was sick. The whole of that day, I couldn't eat. I was sick. Every day I would go and check the mail, But later on, I realized it was a fake camera. I realized it was a fake camera. And I was like, after that day, anywhere I'm going to, I'm always staying 5 kilometers under the limits,
It's not a fake camera. Sorry. I have to tell you, the situation you were, the situation is you were steady there. Something led to you to be in the middle. Camera maybe shot you many times and they'll cancel it. Sorry. Yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah, I really don't know what happened, but I didn't get any tickets. So I felt, as in for the whole of that week, I felt so sick. And I was like, the way I was taking it as if the world has come to an end, like, oh, I'm going to go to jail, that kind of feeling. That was how I really felt. And after then, I had to be very, very careful. Like, I was watching the lights. He's always using my, GPS to drive, and yeah.
Well, thanks for sharing that very, very interesting example there. We'll have to bring this meeting to a close now. Before I do that, I'll just say that, just to summarize the two key terms that we've been using. So I said you feel guilty when you have done something legally or morally wrong, and you realize that you've done that wrong thing that's wrong. That feeling is a feeling of guilt. Regret often speaks to when you should have done something in a better way than it was actually done. So regret relies on insight, or let me say foresight, or having a better understanding of the situation. So most of the times when we make decisions, and those decisions may not be morally or ethically wrong, like the two situations we had for Sarah and Anne, the decisions were not necessarily ethically or morally wrong, but the feelings they had were feelings of regret, particularly around that situation, around the situations they were in, because they probably felt they didn't know enough, or if they had known. And that's often what happens, isn't it? You take up a job and you're like, I regret taking that job. All right. Because if I had known, maybe if you had known how that boss would behave, if you had known how that neighbor would be, if you had known how that man would be, if you had known, if you had known, and I know that I know. All right. So regret often comes from a reflection, and regret actually shines lights on our humanity that we know in part. And because we know in part, there are times when our decisions may not necessarily be sinful or legally or morally wrong, but they can lead to consequences that are not favorable. And that those unfavorable consequences may create feelings of negative feelings in us, which will be regret. And of course, the reason why you feel regret is because you think you could have gotten a better outcome, a different outcome, if you had known, if you had more information. Whereas with guilt, it's different. Guilt, you feel guilty immediately because you know what you've done is wrong. You know what you've done is wrong. You know what you've done is hurtful. What you've done is harmful. All right. And both of them can coexist. Absolutely. It's that when you said something, regret can be painful because we may not have used very big consequential decision examples here, but you're correct. You can marry the wrong person, and there's nothing wrong about marrying, somebody, but you may marry a tongue-speaking, Bible-quoting, gospel-preaching believer, and you will regret it for the rest of your life. You marry, yes, while he was in church, he speaks in tongues and rolls on the floor, cast out all the demons in the, I don't want to mention any departments. He cast all of those demons out. They will go for Bible study and everything, and still yet they are not compatible with you one bit. You've not done anything legally or morally wrong, but that decision to marry that person may be a regretful, and it will be massively consequential, because if you raise up a family with somebody that you can't build compatibility with, it's going to be hard work. It's even worse when you marry a child of the devil. You will have a lot of problems with your father-in-law. Regret can be painful and can be debilitating. So when next we review this, we will go deeper into regret as Christians. How do we really handle the regret? How can we manage it? And even guilt. How do you, some of you may be here, you still have guilt feelings about things that have happened in the past. How can you overcome those guilt feelings? So today we've not even had the time to really deal with how to practically overcome guilt feelings or feelings of regret. You may look at your life now and say, you know what? Oh gosh, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have taken that job. Or I shouldn't have signed up for that course. Some of you are like, I shouldn't have signed up for that course. Sometimes your feeling of regret may be because you don't even know the bigger picture. At that time, you're feeling that way because you feel, the outcome isn't great. But what if that outcome is part of, it ties in with what Sister was talking about in the last 2 weeks, rejection. That, gosh, she rejected me. Maybe I regret ever speaking to her. I didn't know that she would reject. Maybe that feeling of regret is because you still don't see the bigger picture. So we're going to talk more about how to deal with regret, how to handle guilt, and how, if you're already there in that situation, how can you overcome? But I really enjoyed today's conversation. I enjoyed the diversity of thought and opinion, and the conversations around guilt, regrets, and it makes me feel better that I'm not the only one with demerit points too. Great, guys. Nice
a lot of us have got demerit points.
All right, we'll catch up by God's grace. Tomorrow there's a program called Yes 2 is happening tomorrow, and we've had a slight change in the program. Let me just see if I can bring that up for you. There's just been a slight change in the program, but I want to encourage you, please, every member of Beautiful Gate, I'd like to encourage you to do one thing, please. Come for this event. I'm just trying to share my screen. All right. Come for this event. It's at 12 noon tomorrow. 12 noon tomorrow. Okay. So we are going to be having Damilola Oluwatoyinbo. This guy is loaded. It's going to be speaking on just say yes. It's going to be speaking for 40 minutes. Just say yes. All right. And then after that, we're going to have 4 seminars, concurrent sessions: purpose and career, personal growth and development, small business, creativity and innovation. All right. So join. It's going to be on Zoom like this. There'll be 4 concurrent sessions. They will run concurrently. You choose whatever group you want. And there will also be opportunity for networking. The last time we had, when I was in the same group with the old friend of my wife who was in Canada, Toronto, Canada. And she was like, you know, blah, 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 I know your wife. Whoa, sorry, I didn't know that. So guys, if you can join tomorrow to be refreshing, you'll be blessed. We've got almost 2,000. In fact, what do you mean? We've got about 2,000 people are registered, about 2,000. So I encourage you to be part of it. Tomorrow is going to be amazing. And on Sunday, we'll have a service at 214 Northumberland Street, by the grace of God. And in the evening, we're going to have our Connect group, but it's going to be online. Connect group will be online this Sunday. God bless you so much. Let us pray together. Father, we thank you for today. Thank you for your word. Thank you for the conversations we've had on guilt, handling guilt and regret. As we continue our exploration of this important conversations, we pray you'll give us light and understanding. And if there's anyone here who is sinking under the weight of guilt, shame, regret, we pray you'll help them stand strong, come and overcome, so that we can all be the best version of ourselves. We can all be the people you've designed us to be, to the glory of your name. In Jesus' name, amen. Praise God, guys.
Amen.
Love you, love you, love you. We'll see you tomorrow at 12 o'clock. Cheers.